Greetings, geologists, and welcome to I Dream of Indie. My name's Old Gamer Joe, and today we are reviewing casual puzzle game Slap the Rocks on Nintendo Switch. Slap the Rocks was developed by AFIL Games and Ratalaika Games, with the console versions being published by eastasiasoft. Interesting timing here for this one with the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock fiasco going on, but in Slap the Rocks, you won't be slapping wisecracking comedians, rather you'll literally be smacking rocks with your blade in order to knock said rocks into pitfalls, thus filling the holes and allowing for you, the player, to collect a treasure chest full of hearts and advance on to the next level. That's really all there is to it. There's no storyline here at all, no motive as to why you're solving these puzzles, and no characters to meet along the way. Slap the Rocks will start out easy enough, just as you might expect, but difficulty of these puzzles will ramp up over the course of these 30 different levels. Some areas may require you to slice down certain bushes so that you'll be able to line up your rock correctly, and then it's just a matter of thinking things through, walking to the side of the stone that you want to hit, and sliding it into place. Your character has no other skills at all, so you'll really only need to rely on the action button, your brain of course, and the D-pad. If you're familiar at all with the Sokoban games, the concept here will feel very similar. In later levels, the game will begin to mix things up a little bit. You might have a misleading rock that you think you should use, but you don't really have to, or even some hidden rocks on the map that can make what is a rather simple solution seem far more complicated than it really is. Heck, some of these levels may even have more than one solution, so overall, I found the level design to actually be pretty decent. It's just a shame that there aren't more of these levels. Slap the Rocks is also a single-player experience, which is a bit of a letdown, as I could see some potential in a two-player mode, maybe cooperating, figuring things out together. Two heads are better than one, as they say. If you're finding a certain level particularly challenging, do not fear, you can actually skip levels at any time, though strangely I didn't notice any sort of checklist or notification for completed levels in this title, which does feel a bit lazy. If you're only going to have 30 levels, it would be nice to have some sort of reward or acknowledgement for completing one, but nope, it's just on to the next puzzle. In fact, the menu design in general is pretty lackluster here, with bland pixelated red blocks that represent the different levels, no real personality or charm at all. Thankfully, the levels themselves don't look quite as terrible, with a very basic pixel art style that isn't exceptional, but it does serve the purpose. The game does lack variety in environments with just a grassy, desert, and snowy area, but it is a simple puzzle game, and it doesn't need to look all that flashy, so I can accept that. The top-down view utilized here is almost reminiscent of a classic Zelda-style game, and it mostly does a good job of showing you the layout of each area, and should you get stuck, it's as simple as slashing at a sign to reset the puzzle and trying again. You won't have any accessibility options really at all in this game outside of muting that one repetitive musical track that you'll hear over and over again, but again, things are pretty simple here for any puzzle fan to jump into. And just to go back to that sound for one moment, it's not anything special here. That one composition, as I mentioned, is pretty dreadful and it loops ad nauseum. There's no compelling sound effects either, making this one best played with the volume down a bit, sadly. But despite these flaws, you'll get some rock solid puzzle design here, making for a decent on-the-go puzzle experience. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. The game won't last you very long at all, maybe an hour or two, but it's a $5 budget title, and while that is glaringly obvious, that doesn't mean that there isn't any fun to be had. This one's just okay. Our content here at I Dream of Indie is only possible thanks to our brave indie warriors and legends that support us through channel memberships. Thank you to Indie Warriors Bill, Christian Cruz, Adriana Amato, CJR, PSC, Julian Colbus, Jesse, Ray Lynn, Marky Mint, Dave Harp, Peekaboo, Lex Noyle, and King of the Hatch. And those brave indie legends are Jen Rose, Larkison, Mitchell Hall, Peach, Skeptism, C-Coil, Nathan Moore, Chris Jackson, Mr. W, Blue Francis 14, The Beefarinis, Business Cody, and Carmen Red. Thank you so much for all that you do for independent developers, publishers, and for I Dream of Indie. Everybody else, head down to the description box below. Let's defeat the gaming echo chamber and bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming.